sun beat down on the dry, dusty plains. It was a day like any other, or so it seemed, but for one small golden jackal, this day was filled with terror. A great, dark cloud moved across the land. It was not a rain cloud, it was a swarm of angry bees. The buzzing was a roar, a threat that filled the air. The jackal was young and alone. It had wandered too far from its den, its curiosity leading it into grave danger. The bees saw the jackal not as a fellow creature of the wild, but as a threat to their hive. They descended upon it with a unified fury, a storm of tiny, stinging warriors. The jackal yelped in pain and confusion. It tried to run, but the swarm was relentless. It was everywhere. The stings were like 1,000 tiny needles piercing its fur and skin. The jackal's sleek coat was no match for this onslaught. It rolled in the dust, trying to escape the torment. It snapped at the air, a desperate and futile attempt to fight back. Its small body was quickly becoming overwhelmed. The venom coursed through its veins, and its vision began to blur. The world, once full of adventure, had become a prison of pain from which there seemed to be no escape. Exhaustion began to set in. The jackal's movements became slower, its cries weaker. It was a heartbreaking sight. This beautiful, intelligent animal was being brought down by creatures a fraction of its size. The swarm showed no mercy. They were defending their home with a fierce determination that was both incredible and terrifying to witness. The jackal collapsed near a thorny bush, its body trembling. Its breath came in short, ragged gasps. The buzzing of the bees was the only sound in a world that was fading to black. Hope was dwindling with every passing moment. In this vast and often unforgiving landscape, survival is a daily struggle. For this young jackal, the struggle seemed to be nearing its end. The sun continued its journey across the sky, indifferent to the small drama unfolding below. The jackal lay still, a small defeated figure on the immense canvas of the wild. It was a stark reminder of the delicate balance of nature. Here, life and death are constant companions. Without intervention, this creature's story would have a tragic and premature ending, a silent loss in the great wilderness. But this jackal was not entirely alone. A local farmer working in a field nearby had noticed the commotion. He saw the dark, swirling cloud and heard the faint, desperate cries of the animal. He knew this was not a normal event. He understood the danger the swarm posed. His heart went out to the trapped creature. Without a moment's hesitation, he knew he had to get help. He quickly called the local animal rescue organization, a group of dedicated people who commit their lives to helping wildlife in distress. His call was a lifeline, a signal of hope sent out into the world for the suffering jackal. The rescue team received the call and sprang into action immediately. They understood the urgency. Bee stings, especially in such large numbers, can be fatal. They quickly gathered their equipment, protective suits, nets, and a medical kit. Every member of the team knew their role. They moved with a practiced efficiency that comes from experience and a shared passion for saving animals. They loaded their vehicle and set off, racing against time. The journey was tense. The team members discussed their plan, anticipating the challenges they might face when they arrived at the scene. Their vehicle bumped along the rough track, kicking up a cloud of dust. As they got closer, they could see the dark swarm from a distance. The farmer who had called them was waiting by the roadside to guide them. He pointed towards the thorny bush where the jackal lay. The team thanked him for his quick thinking and compassion. It is often the kindness of ordinary people that makes these rescues possible. They represent the best of humanity, a desire to protect the vulnerable creatures we share this planet with. The team parked a safe distance away and prepared to approach. They donned their thick white protective suits, looking like astronauts venturing into an alien world. The buzzing grew louder as they neared the bush. They could see the jackal, a small, still form on the ground. Its body was covered in bees. The sight was grim, but it did not deter them. It only strengthened their resolve. They knew they were the jackal's only chance. Their training, bravery, and deep respect for life would all be needed in the critical moments that were to follow. The rescue operation began with incredible care and precision. The team leader, a calm and experienced woman, directed the operation. Two members, armed with gentle smoke blowers, approached the swarm first. The smoke is not harmful to the bees, but it masks their alarm pheromones. This helps to calm them down and encourages them to disperse. Slowly and carefully, they puffed cool smoke around the bush. The angry buzzing began to soften. The dense cloud of bees started to thin as they became disoriented and moved away from the jackal. This was the first crucial step. With the swarm partially dispersed, a second pair of rescuers moved in. They carried a large, soft blanket. Their movements were slow and deliberate, designed to avoid startling the already traumatized animal. They gently draped the blanket over the jackal. This served two purposes. It protected the jackal from any remaining bees, and it helped to calm the animal, making it feel more secure. One rescuer spoke to the jackal in a low, soothing voice. It is a technique often used to comfort animals in distress, letting them know that help, not harm, has arrived. Once the jackal was covered, the team worked together to carefully lift it. They placed the small blanket-wrapped body into a secure animal carrier. Teamwork was essential. Every person had a specific job, and they trusted each other completely. They moved as one unit, a symphony of coordinated action. There was no room for error. The jackal was weak, and any rough handling could cause further injury or stress. Their gentle and efficient work was a testament to their dedication and professionalism, a beautiful display of human compassion in action. With the jackal safely secured in the carrier, the team made a swift retreat to their vehicle. The danger was not over yet. The jackal needed immediate medical attention. They placed the carrier in the back of the truck and began the journey to their rescue center. The first part of the mission was complete. They had successfully removed the animal from a life-threatening situation. Their bravery, facing a swarm of angry bees, was remarkable. But now, the next phase of the rescue, the jackal's recovery, was about to begin. Upon arriving at the rescue center, the veterinary team was ready. They carefully brought the jackal into the clinic. Its condition was critical. The jackal was in anaphylactic shock from the hundreds of stings it had received. Its face and body were swollen, and it was barely conscious. The team immediately began treatment. They administered antihistamines and steroids to counteract the allergic reaction and reduce the swelling. They also gave it fluids to combat dehydration and pain relief to make it more comfortable. The first few hours were touch and go. Slowly, over the next few days, the jackal began to respond to the treatment. The swelling went down and its breathing became more stable. It started to show signs of awareness, its eyes following the movements of the caregivers. The team patiently removed each bee stinger from its coat, a long and delicate process. They fed it a special diet to help it regain its strength. It was a long road, but the little jackal was a fighter. Its will to live, combined with the expert care it received, created a powerful force for healing. After a week, the transformation was astonishing. The jackal was now bright, alert, and active. It moved around its spacious recovery enclosure with a renewed energy. Its beautiful golden coat was beginning to shine again. The fear and pain in its eyes had been replaced with a lively curiosity. It would watch its caregivers with interest, a silent acknowledgement of the kindness it had been shown. The team watched its progress with immense pride and joy. This is the reward for their hard work, seeing an animal brought back from the brink of death. The day finally came for the jackal to return to the wild. The team took it back to a safe area near where it was found, far from the bee colony. They opened the door of the carrier, and after a moment of hesitation, the jackal stepped out. It took a look back at its rescuers, a final glance, before turning and trotting off into the wilderness, back to the life it was meant to live. This story is a powerful lesson. It teaches us that every single life is precious. Through compassion and action, we have the power to make a positive difference and protect the wonderful creatures that share our world.